room, and the wife hears these men. She hears a man's voice coming from the baby's room, and she wakes up her husband and goes, "Honey, I don't know what's happening, but go in there." So the husband, practically with a baseball bat in his hand, he walks into the baby's room, and there's nobody there. And then the camera swivels around at him. These cameras have microphones, and the camera begins swearing at this guy. And it's almost like it's possessed. It's like something from The Omen. But the reality is that there are online websites where people will log in, and the new parents are like the worst people to purchase these things because they're not reading the manuals. When you plug in that camera to watch your baby, the baby monitor IP camera is what it's called, it comes with a factory setting password. You have to change that. And if you don't, there are entire websites with thousands, tens of thousands of links where literally you could go onto one of these websites and you could say, I want to see, Brazil or Florida or Orlando. I want to watch the cameras there. And you can literally click the link and you're looking in somebody's living room. You're looking in somebody's baby's bedroom. It's so creepy.
It really is.
And people need to realize don't bring cameras and microphones into your home. It's plain and simple. Don't do it.
Let's go to the phones. Let's pick it up by going to Rhonda in Iron Mountain, Michigan, east of the Rockies. Hello, Rhonda. Go ahead.
Hi. I just wanted to make a couple comments. I had heard, I don't know where, but I heard that in Obama's national health care plan that there's a provision for getting that RFID chip. And I don't know if either of you have heard about that or if there's truth to that. But also, you mentioned that Christianity was still predominantly, is the predominant faith.
Religion, sure.
But Thursday after the midterm elections, I heard President Obama say that Christianity was no longer the predominant faith in this country, and he's a Muslim. So, but anyway, I just wanted to know about that. If there's any truth to that RFID chip being.
Well, Rhonda, thank you. So let me address that. I've got a blog on my website at KatherineAlbrecht.com where I dispelled this myth. Actually, the whole thing about RFID microchips in the Obamacare legislation is a myth, fortunately, and we don't need to be worried about it. The reason it got in there was an earlier version of the bill that didn't pass that had a provision for creating a registry of implantable medical devices. Now, what they mean by that, it was actually a certain class of medical devices that are like pacemakers and heart stents, things like that. And what they wanted to do is right now those things go out onto the market and they don't get reviewed. So they could be causing deaths or harm to people, and there's no way to follow up on that. So that form of the bill, that version of the bill did not pass. We did not get a registry created of those FDA devices, and there's really nothing to worry about on that front. And that's I've done all the research. I've looked through the 500-page bill multiple times. It's just not in there. And what was your other question?
And the other one was Christianity is waning maybe in this country. Maybe it's not the majority in this country. Huh?
It's actually not. And I don't know what Obama is talking about, but 83% of Americans, when they're polled, consistently say that they are Christian. You have 88% of Americans owning a Bible in their household, and on average they own 4 Bibles. The total proportion of Bible readers who read the Bible multiple times a year is 50% of adults in this country, and Christianity is not only the predominant religion in the U.S., but it's the predominant religion in the world. It's the number one most populous religion at 2.2 billion people. So I'm not sure what Obama's trying to prove or what he's trying to convince people of. I'm a big believer that you should have the right to practice the religion of your choice. I definitely don't want to discriminate against other groups, but I also don't appreciate this sort of implication that there really aren't any Christians anymore. There's a whole lot of Christians out there, and it is the predominant faith in this country.
Remember the hotels of the old days? They'd all have Bibles in there.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're doing
Bible.
that anymore. I haven't seen many Bibles in hotel rooms I've been in.
I travel a lot, George, and I'd say about half the rooms that I'm in still have a Bible. And it's really that vocal, sort of angsty, gritty minority that says, you need to take the Bible out of the drawer. The Bible's not going to leap out of the drawer and bite you.
No, and they used to be free. Couldn't you take that with you if you wanted to?
The Gideons International are a wonderful resource that have been distributing Bibles to prisons and to hotels and to schools and to places all over the world, hospitals. They've been doing this for literally decades, and they will just replace it. If you take it, they'll just put another one there. So I think it's a good thing. And sometimes when you're in a hotel, George, I'll tell you, when you're far from home and you're traveling and things are rough, it is kind of nice to have the solace of just pulling the Bible out and flipping through a couple Psalms.
Indeed. Let's go to Greg in Chicago. Welcome to the program, Greg. You're on with Kathleen.